We rolling.
Welcome to another great episode of the Urban Paranormal Podcast, where you might be crazy to some,
But your family to us. Hey.
I am your host, J.H.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
I'm your show coordinator, the weatherman.
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad he's in the house too. We're going to be talking about like some internet stuff, but see, you can't talk about internet gods, right, without talking about our guest.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you guys at home tonight, we have the famous, you know what I'm saying, infamous.
The rap god himself.
Exactly, Mr.
Mr.
KRINO.
What up?
Man, blessing. Glad to be back, man. Glad to be
Oh,
back
yeah,
on
man.
the show. Honored to be among y'all brothers, man.
Man,
You know
I
what it
appreciate
is.
it. You know what I'm saying? I feel smarter and cooler just with him in my presence. Just being in his presence.
Right? It's always an honor and a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, it
So,
really
Same
is.
here, brother. Same here, absolutely.
So what we're going to be talking about, guys, is it's a question, actually. We're going to talk about a question that might be pretty relevant in today. Is today the new God, social media?
Is social media the new god?
Yeah, is it the new God today?
Man, it's starting to seem like that. It seems like people do anything, bro, for some likes, a couple of comments, man. Shit is getting out of hand, bro. Seeming like the new god to me, man.
Well, here's the thing, and I've been watching this. So some of you at home might not know or might not be informed. I know Mr. Reno here is informed on it. But you had a right to speech. You could say what you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Well, they just deleted that 2 days ago, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and here's why. And you have to think about it. The free speech, people are arguing about that because they can get on the internet and they can say, Biden touched children and show video, faking video, do different things. They could say Trump touched children. They can do all these things and call it free speech.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? And that there is putting out, false shit.
Well, that reminds me, bro. I was on Instagram yesterday, and I was scrolling through, and it was a very offensive racial post toward black people. And it pissed me off so much that I reported it. I don't do shit like that.
Right.
And Instagram sent me a message and told me they didn't go against their guidelines.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, here,
Wow.
and that's funny you say that.
Yeah.
The thing is that with this here time that we're living in, all right, I'm going to skip what you said. I'm going to hit back on that.
Okay.
But I'm going to skip it. I'm going to jump to Mr. Cosby because that's important. No one knows. Everyone has an opinion that he's that he's guilty. But you only figure out that he's guilty is because social media told you so.
Right.
So social media is now hanging people, lynching people just with an opinion.
Wow.
Okay? And no one knows the truth,
That's crazy.
but him, and I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I mean, I don't think he was guilty, but that's my opinion. But I don't push that on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what the internet, I think, with social media is doing. So it's giving people who wouldn't normally have had any say-so
Any
about
type of voice or anything.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, bro, at the same time.
Right. And doesn't God give blessings, and doesn't he curse that ass too?
I guess so.
I mean,
Say so. I'm not going to amen that, but I'll say I guess so.
I mean, I'm just saying, hey, apparently in Christianity, God can be very nice to you or he can be very bad to you.
Yeah.
And in the internet, if we say the wrong thing in public, on air or whatever, these people coming for us.
Yeah.
You can lose your jobs. You can do all of these things, So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Reno, like, how do you're from a time a little bit before this. So how do you think that this affects basically our future? Like, is this going to be the way it's going to always be, or is it going to be worse?
Well, let me start by saying that internet is just another. It's a creation of man. It's something that man created, just like man created the car,
Right.
the airplane, the microwave oven, whatever you can think of. And a lot of times we have to understand that those entities are only as positive or negative as we make them.
Oh,
Because
wow.
we're the ones who are powering them. We're the ones who are utilizing those tools. Like the saying goes, people will misquote this all the time, and they'll say, "Oh man, money is the root of all evil," when it actually is the love of money
Right.
is the root of all evil.
Right,
Because the
right.
money itself can do no harm or do any good. So with the internet, it's all about how it's used.
Yeah.
And I think about Minister Farrakhan when he was kicked off of all of the
Social media. I remember that.
platforms.
Wow, yeah.
And you couldn't go back and find any examples of where he misused the platform. He always used the platform with respect and with dignity, but because of the truth that he was speaking, that's when they came after him. So when y'all talked about, when Trent was saying that, okay, I reached out and reported this particular video because I found it offensive, and then they returned back to you and said, well, no, it doesn't violate the policies, because at the end of the day, they make the choices on what they feel is going to violate.
Exactly.
Those who create the game, they can make up the rules as they go along.
Right.
So we have to understand that this internet thing that we do utilize, and some of us use it the wrong way, some of us use it to our advantage and for business purposes or whatever, and to get the word out, but it doesn't belong to us, you know. And until we start to reach a point where we start to say, you know, whatever we're going to do it on our own, then we will continuously fall into situations where, like, hey, you know what, man, I wasn't able to do this. I got kicked off of this. They reported me for this. They blocked me for this.
Correct.
And all because we don't own those platforms. So just to kind of give a base where my head is just on it in the beginning, then that's how I feel about it.
Wow.
Well, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Trent. I'm going to say this. So when Trent was saying how he reported this offensive, that he found offensive, they said it does not, you know, go against their guidelines. And the thing is, what you guys at home need to know is that look at what time it is. This time is very important, and you need to mark it down on your calendars. See, this is the time where everyone talks shit about presidents, about political people. This is when misinformation comes out. And it's so weird because on that internet, right, they have this guy, and they just caught him, so it's really funny, and it's really, but it's so many of them. They have this guy, he's on there, and he's playing as he's a 13-year-old kid, and he has this 13-year-old little white girl. He has her talking, and he literally writes a script for her, and she's on the internet. She's saying all these things. They're all racist. They're horribly, horribly racist, you know?
Wow.
You can hear the undertone in what they're saying. And they're putting all this stuff out, KKK, this, and that. Very bad. Well, when they did an investigation to find this 13-year-old kid, it turned out to be a 38-year-old male in Russia.
Oh, wow. Just putting out racist shit.
Right, because it's time for the elections.
Oh, okay.
You
Over there
see,
in Russia.
Right, and so, well, no, over here in America.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was saying that you want to do it, and this is why I'm saying the internet, social media becomes God, because you saw that, you found it offensive. I know that I would have found it offensive. Anyone would have found it offensive, right? But we can't allow that to change who we are.
Oh,